And NASA astronaut Karen Nyberg is back on Earth this morning after nearly half a year aboard the International Space Station. She is the 50th woman to go to space. The latest voyage meant leaving her young son behind. In her first interview since returning, Nyberg tells Michelle Miller about their reunion and life in orbit.
Welcome to the International Space Station.
Astronaut by day, wife and mother 24/7. That's how Karen Nyberg describes herself.
I honestly feel like I've accomplished the dream that I set out for.
She just returned to Earth after living and working on the International Space Station since May.
When you saw your son, when you saw Jack for the first time?
He started running with this big smile on his face, and it was very special. And then I just gave him a big hug, and he kind of stared at me for a while. You know, it's real mommy this time. It's not a video of mommy. And that is how I wash my hair in space. That's the only way he'd seen me for 5.5 months.
5.5 months living like few others have in the name of science and exploration. While her husband, a fellow astronaut, can probably relate, it's still a long time to be so far from home. But Nyberg says it's really not lonely out in space.
It's like being with your brothers. You get very comfortable with them. You know, it's like part of your family. It has to be like a family.
Living life 250 miles above the Earth is no small feat.
You just blasted off into outer space. What scares you?
I wouldn't call that
wasn't scary.
No, an interview would be more scary to me than sitting in a rocket.
But in space, the stakes are much higher.
Probably the thing that got my heart rate up the most during the whole mission was when I was operating the robotic arm to capture the HTV, the cargo vehicle, and that came in during the middle of the mission.
You can see the HTV that Karen Nyberg will latch onto a short time from now.
I'm at the controls, and if I don't capture this thing, all of the stuff that we're expecting to get on space station, that will be lost.
Capture confirmed.
And that can get your heart rate going.
After all Nyberg has accomplished, her modesty stands out.
Do you feel like a superhero?
No, not in the least. I'm just an average person, I think. You know, I had an average American upbringing. Somebody else in my situation might not think that they can do it, and hopefully I can inspire them that yes, they can.
For CBS This Morning, Michelle Miller, Houston.